Statistically speaking, crime showed no sign of decreasing, and the dark rumors of the high-rise buildings didn't die out. Despite that, they believed in a tomorrow better than today. Rumors. Yes, rumors too. From today to tomorrow, rumors shifted and changed. The people no longer said much of the meta-creature rumors. The military power balance crumbled during the engine weapon development race. Such unsettling rumors began to be whispered. Day and night, the tabloids listed rumors about engine weapon development in all the countries of the globe. However, that was not all. It wasn't just things which gave dark implications. There had been a confirmed increase in the number of gaps in the sky. The light brought about by the sky behind the drifting grey clouds was a temporary relief to people accustomed to smoke. A pair of scholars at the University of Paris succeeded at developing engines using a new kind of energy. There were newspaper articles saying sensational things about it. The 20th century had only just begun. No one knew what would happen tomorrow. Who would end up marrying who? Whose child would speak words first? No one knew such trivial things. No one knew what would happen on trivial but happy tomorrows. No one.
私の場合もそう。まさかこんな幸運が訪れるなんて。運命の出会い？そうね。そうだと思う。女王陛下崩御のすぐ後のこと。突然私はその幸運を手にした。
For some reason, a publishing company figured that a merchant would have good stories to tell, and Mr. Howard received a request to write a novel. He said he knew someone perfect for the job, and introduced Mary to that company. Howard himself had no interest in making a book, and was too busy with his job in Angie anyway, or so he said.
でも突然そんなことを言われても、私が書いていたのは全然別の絵本だったのだけれど。
There was some confusion after the editor who saw her picture book said they'd take care of the text and pictures if she put out a horror novel. But at long last, the small company published a single picture book.
ささやかに1000部程度の勝負数。最新のプリントエンジンで刷り上げられた1000のささやかな私の記録。実はあまり売れていないの。在庫が結構余ってる。でもそれでも構わない。いいの。私と友人以外の誰かへ、一人でも多くへ伝えたいと思うから。私が見たものを、今までこの目で見てきたものすべて。美しいもの、素敵なもの、それに恐ろしいものも。すべてを、私以外の他の誰かへ。1,2,3と思ったよりずっとたくさん来てるの。
What are these fan letters? 2 months after the picture book was published. First, a couple of envelopes reached her, what one would call fan letters. Apparently, the publisher had sent them to her directly, but there were others piled up they were planning to send later. That was what her editor told her. Her editor also told her this. Just the other day, 1 or 2 suspicious envelopes came in, so the company was discussing what to do with them.
つまるところ、怖いから早く処分しようとしたのね。それ、ちゃんと相談できてるのかしら。少しだけ心配になるけれど。でも、届けてくれてよかった。捨てられてしまったら大変だから。
Anyway, a few fan letters that had safely reached her. She organized the books and lecture notes filling her desk, then decided to clean her entire room while she was at it as a nice change of pace. All of today's envelopes had reached her in the morning, but by the time she got around to reading them, it was almost noon.
では、読ませてもらいますね。
She opened the envelopes one by one with her usual letter opener. The first one.
1通目はアーシャから。丁寧な感想と元気いっぱいの近況と。ミスター・ハワードへの不満と愛情と私への言葉がいっぱい。こんなにたくさん書いてくれて。課題結構残ってるって言ってたのに。ありがとう、アーシャ。
The second one.
2通目はエリーから。あの子の字を見るのは初めてだった。ぎこちない、でも温かな、あの子らしい感想文。途中から話がそれて、カダス南部のセレナリア地方の旅と、飛空艇ギルド滞在日記になっていた。
Selenaria, huh?
飛空艇ギルド？あの子本当に空へ。すごいわ。 あなた夢のすぐ近くへ行ったのね。いつか空から私を見てね。元気なエリー。
The third one.
3通目はシャーリーから。読み慣れた繊細で綺麗な文字で恥ずかしくなるくらいの感想と私への励ましと、療養先であるカダス北欧の出来事も言葉少なくけれど確かに。シャーリー、アーシェと一緒に会いに行くわ。だから待っていてね。
Yes, in spring. She would have time in the spring, so she decided to go there with a huge travel suitcase. She also decided to visit her mother's workplace. She left a note to herself to write a reply. She started planning the trip in her head. After a short while, she reached for the next envelope. There was also a letter from Viola. Elegant, conscientious, kind words just like the woman herself. Once from Belle and Donna and Claudia too, and from Mrs. Hudson and Uncle George and others. Even from her mother. And then, letters from children she'd never seen before. Several opinions from children who'd read the book, some poorly written letters and some pretty ones probably written by their parents.
どれも大切に読み進めて、一つ一つ返事をメモして。
She opened the bottom drawer of her desk and slid them into a beautifully decorated folder. A drawer where she put what was precious to her. There were lots of memories in there as well.
モランに渡された本や返還機も、ジェーンのくれた本も今はここに。見るたびに思い出す。他の誰が忘れてしまっていても、私だけは忘れないから。さてと。
She prepared herself a little and picked up the last remaining envelope. What could it possibly be? Insults, maybe? She doubted it had any explosives or poisons in it. The last envelope her publishing company considered destroying. That envelope had no sender name. Even on the inside, there was only a single piece of white paper. Instead of an address, there was one line. October 5th, at the water's edge.
10月。私はふと思い出してしまう。1905年の10月の日。初めて会った日のこと。でも、記憶とは少し日がずれていた。あれは確か6日か7日だったから。別人？怪しい手紙と聞いて彼を思った。でも違うの。
Mary held the white paper in silence for a while. Her right eye told her on its own she wasn't mistaken. She hadn't felt the sensation in a while. Her golden eye told her something all on its own. She wasn't mistaken. Mary didn't know his handwriting, but he'd written this. She was sure he'd looked up at the sky as he wrote. She didn't know if he was alive or even if he was human.
あなたなの？人間だと彼女たちの言うあなた。何かを願い求めたあなた。何かを探していたあなた。私がこの手で触れたあなた。二人の人に愛されたあなた。大デュマを読むと言ったあなた。ああ、そうね。これはデュマの。
October 5th. It wasn't that day, that night, that day they'd met. It wasn't even a real date. It wasn't obvious, but it was definitely a message from him.
渚にいるのね。
October 5th. That date came from Dumas' magnum opus, the final chapter. It's over! We finally did it. We finished Shikkoku no Sharnoth. What a beautiful tomorrow. What a journey, wasn't it? I started this playthrough more than half a year ago, I think. It is my longest playthrough yet. And it was a good read. I really liked it, although I think I liked Seki no Iganok just a little bit more. Well, I guess now we just have to wait until the translation of the fourth visual novel of Liarsoft's steampunk series with the title Hikari no Valusia. What a Beautiful Hopes is finished. But until then, there are still many more visual novels I want to read here on YouTube. For example, just recently I started the playthrough of Draku Riot on my first channel. It's about vampires, so if you're interested, you can check that out. And of course, my playthroughs of Fate Stay Night and Grisaya no Kajitsu are still ongoing as well. Well then, the only thing that is left for me to say is, thanks for watching. This is the VGVN Gamer, signing out. See you soon.
メアリはすごいわ。怖いものなんてないのね。何も。じゃあ、おとぎ話のシャドウビルダーは？なにそれ。教会の牧師様が言っていたの。神様がね、光あれとおっしゃった時に消えた黒い影。だから、シャドウビルダーは明るいところにいる人間を恨むの。怖いことをするの。夜が怖いのもそのせいなのよ。怖くないわ。本当に？うん。だってその人は神様の言葉を聞いたのでしょ？きっと言葉がわかるんだわ。それなら怖くない。話せるなら大丈夫。友達を作るのは得意だもの。ほら、ね。シャーリーとだって仲良くなれたもの。私自信があるのよ。友達になれるわ。誰とでも。